It's 106 on Talk Radio 790 KABC. You're listening to The John Phillips Show. Johnny's back on Tuesday. It's Randy Wang here broadcasting live from the Morongo Casino Resort and Spa Living Room Studio. The phone number, even though the lines are jammed right now, 800-222-KABC. We'll get back to the calls in just a second. You can always email us at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. Your questions, your comments, your drop requests. If you want me to email you an MP3 of a drop like this one, I'll do it. And, Jimmy Buffett song requests, if you got one of those. Now, I have a major announcement before we get back to your phone calls. How exciting is this? Mark your calendars. On Friday, September 15th, from noon to 3, Johnny and I will be broadcasting live from the Gelson's in Century City. That's right. The Gelson Century City has their own wine bar, and we're going to be doing a live show from there. So come on down, grab a drink, maybe get a flight, have a burger. I hear they're fantastic, and hang out. You can even sip and shop. So while you're listening to the show and drinking your wine, they'll do your grocery shopping for you. Anyway, we're very excited. We're going to be there. It's 2 weeks from today, noon to 3. So please come hang out with us. It's at the Gelson's in Century City, which is at the Westfield Century City Shopping Center. We're going to be there from noon to 3. The John Phillips Show, live. How fun is that? All right, back to the phones. A lot of people have been holding for quite a bit, so let's get right to it. How would you vote when it comes to this thing we're going to be voting on in March to require hotels to offer their vacant rooms to the homeless? 800-222-KABC. Let's start with Lisa in Pasadena. You're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hi, my vote is no. I believe that the city of Los Angeles wants these hotels to go bankrupt so that they can purchase them at bargain basement prices. They want to expand the Inside Safe program by increasing their portfolio of hotels they own.
Oh, and if they're destroyed, the property values would be so low they can get them for a song. And you know what, Lisa? I would accuse you of being cynical, except we actually heard Mike Bonin back in the beginning of COVID say exactly that.
Mm-hmm. So true.
Thanks so much for the call, Lisa. Appreciate it. Let's go to Fernando in L.A. Fernando, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Oh, hello, Randy.
Hey.
Okay, I would vote no. I grew up in Los Angeles. I work in Los Angeles, but now I live outside of the city of Los Angeles. So it's just going to cost us more money, or the people of Los Angeles more money, because there's going to be damage, and the city always underestimates the cost of any program.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to be on the hook for all of that.
Yeah, exactly. And my solution, I would like a proposal that on any of our politicians' elections, whatever the voter turnout is, like if it's 10%, that's what they're going to get paid. So they have a salary, but if only 10% comes out, they get 10% of that salary.
So let's take it for example. We just had the election of Imelda Padilla in Council District 6. Her base salary is $225,000 a year. Like you said, 10% of the population actually voted in that election. So we should give her $25,000.
That's it.
I love it. Let's get that one on the ballot. Fernando, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. By the way, I got an email here at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. I did not know this, and I'm so glad that I do now. I had mentioned earlier that Universal Studios might be screwed if this passes. Turns out Universal City is unincorporated L.A. County. They did not want to be in the city of L.A. Good to know. All right, back to the phones, 800-222-KABC. There is something we're going to be voting on in March. It is a ballot measure that, if passed, would require hotels to offer their vacant rooms to the homeless every night. How will you be voting? 800-222-KABC. Angela in Ventura. Angela, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hi, Randy. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
Really love your show. Thank you so much. I bet this topic has you keeping your hand close to that button to delete if we go south.
You know what? Nobody has said any bad words today on Blast Away Friday. So hopefully you're not the first, but I believe in you, Angela.
I'll do my best. But this is a very, very, very hard no. Less government intervention in everything that we do is needed. I mean, I don't understand how Los Angeles doesn't see the errors of San Francisco, in New York, and I don't understand how Los Angeles is not protecting their union members. In New York, people are getting raped and stabbed because of the illegal aliens in the hotels. I just, none of this makes sense. I love that first caller. Everything he said, I echo. I would probably add some of those words you'd have to bleep me on. But other than that, yeah. No, hard no on this.
Well, it's even crazier that it was the hotel workers union that got this thing on the ballot.
That's insane. Like, who are they working for? Cruz. Yes, put her on. Go ahead. No.
5 weeks.
There we go. Angela, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. This audience, you people just get it. And you get me. And I love you for it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. James in Norwalk. James, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Yes. First of all, I'd like to say, let me see. Well, anyway, I say no, wow. But anyway, I'm sure a few of these politicians, city council members, et cetera, probably might have a few suites here in the local sports arenas, concerts, et cetera. Why don't they throw a couple of homeless people in there? And, if they really want to, make us the rules, hey, why don't you abide by them? Also, a lot of people got to understand that a lot of big countries have gone under because of big government. We don't need a lot of government. We don't need people to tell us everyday life. Also, the politicians here got to quit using California as a cash cow. They can make all these little mistakes, and all that's going to happen is these hotels are going to start moving out. And guess what? They're going to go back to the taxpayers and say, guess what? We're going to have to raise our rates because everybody's leaving. So that they can just keep making these rules, and there's nothing anybody can do about it as long as we have these people still making these rules.
And we keep voting them in, James.
Yes.
James, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. How will you be voting this March? There is going to be a measure on the ballot in the city of Los Angeles that, if passed, would require hotels to offer all their vacant rooms every night to house the homeless. 800-222-KABC. Peter in L.A. Peter, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah. I just want to say, who's paying for these rooms? And if New York City is an indication, it cost New York taxpayer over $2 billion last year to house these homeless and immigrants.
I don't know about the details of that specific aspect. It sure seemed like the way that I've heard it, it's that they've got to give the room away for free because it's being unused.
I don't think so. That would be a forced taking under any circumstances. So it will be similar to eminent domain, and they have to pay for it.
Well, so that's interesting, Peter. So if it is, the city has to pay for that room. Well, you're going to see hotels jacking up the rates on their rooms. So if the city really wants to go through with this, they're going to have to pay $50,000 to stay at the JW Marriott per room.
Well, yes. And I think New York, if any experience, the city of New York should talk to them, and they're complaining like crazy because they're paying a lot of money to house these people every night, and even the city of Los Angeles already have hotels that the city are paying for, but they never tell anybody how much they pay for it. Every night, the entire hotel is a homeless hotel.
Oh, and we've probably spent $50 million this year alone on that, and we're about to spend even more. Now we're buying the hotels outright because we can't afford all this master leasing.
Well, then they think they can buy the hotel outright. It's cheap, but they have to face the issue of maintaining the hotel. Maintaining it is very expensive, and then you lose your tax base and everything else. Hotel generate a lot of taxes and also generate a lot of jobs, and you're losing all of that.
Yes, but we're going to house the homeless. Peter, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. This is what happens when you have a government entity that is laser focused on one issue. 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Tim in Upland. Tim, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello. Tim.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
I think this is a big scam to get free hotel rooms to all the city workers and all their friends and families and union people. Because anytime somebody reports there's a free open hotel room, they all going to go there and say we are homeless. Who's going to stop that?
You know, that's an interesting angle because this was written and got on the ballot thanks to the Hotel Workers Union. What if they figure out a backroom deal with every hotel where before they offer them to the homeless, they offer all their vacant rooms to the hotel workers? You're already working here. You can sleep here, too.
I think that is what the plan is.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for the call, Tim. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. How about Mike in Anaheim? Mike, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hello. I would vote no. I don't live in Los Angeles, but I would vote no because hotels are private property. What is to stop them after this and say your house has a spare bedroom available? We'll let the homeless sleep in that. Your house has an ADU that you're not using. We'll put the homeless in that. If you start usurping private property at force, then anything's fair game.
You know what? You probably keep your cars in a garage. No more of that. You could turn that into homeless housing.
That's a good idea.
There we go. Mike, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC. How about Jake in L.A.? Jake, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, happy Jimmy Buffett Friday, buddy. How are you?
Happy Jimmy Buffett Friday to you.
I see you're flying solo, holding down the fort, and doing a terrific job at it, I must say.
Why, thank you so much.
And may I pay a compliment to you and John?
Absolutely.
I believe this is one of the finest shows on the left side of the AM dial.
I would agree with that, because I've listened to a lot of shows on the AM dial.
Okay, really quickly, because there's other callers on the line. So this is becoming kind of like those Batman movies where the whole city's in decay. And then it's going to end up becoming like New York, where all the immigrants over there are getting all these free hotels, and they're still complaining, throwing away the good food that anybody here will probably eat. But the immigrants are like, oh, no, I don't want that food. I want something more luxurious like caviar.
Okay, then. Jake, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. I think I understood where he was going with that. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. And yes, there are some excellent radio shows. And in fact, I listen to a lot of other radio shows. I drive home, listen to John and Ken, and they're good stuff. But we take live phone calls here. So those are the guys you should listen on podcast. We're the guys you should listen to live because you can participate live on the show. And then download our podcast too. Enjoy yourself. Let's go to Sandy in Oxnard. Sandy, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hi, Randy. I'm a no. And I guess, with all your other callers, I want to know, why is it our responsibility to take care of people that come here to a state that they can't afford to live in, and then it's our responsibility to take care of them? Where does that come from?
It's because we're compassionate.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's a no. All we keep doing is enabling. We're just enabling, and we're not taking care of our own here that have worked and need help.
No, if we wanted to give them help, we could do that, but we're giving them hotel rooms instead. Sandy, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. How about Brett? Brett, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, Randy, I have a question. If the hotel workers were the ones who put this on the ballot, did they not consider the consequences if it passed? They're going to be the ones that have to clean all this stuff up. The feces-smeared walls, the blood stains from when people get stabby, all the vomit and urine everywhere. I'm concerned that there isn't enough purple cleaner to get the job done.
Yes, but think of all the overtime pay. Thanks so much for the call, Brett. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Henry in Buena Park. Henry, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
I say no, because the reason why, you don't know if these people have diseases or any medical issues. Now, the guests are probably getting sick. Why can't they just reopen up the existing hospitals and have them stay in there?
Well, because those don't have room service.
Well, learn how to room service yourself.
The hospital rooms don't have a mini fridge full of booze.
Well, figure out how to get a hot nurse to get you a room service.
There we go. Henry, thanks so much for the call. Now, speaking of room service and speaking of the amenities that are in the rooms, whether it's the big old thing of expensive M&Ms or the alcohol or booking a massage in the room, who's paying for that? Are we on the hook for that as well? When the hotel invites the unhoused Angelino to stay for the night because the room was vacant, who pays for the booze in the minibar? Let's go to Otis in Garden Grove. Otis, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hello, Comrade Randy. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. I'm going to say absolutely not. But here's a caveat. When this thing passes, I think all the hotels should get together, leave town, and destroy all the buildings so they can't be used for housing. How about that?
I think that very well likely could happen because I don't know how the hotel business survives if this thing passes.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for the call, Otis. Appreciate it. But then the city will come in at the last second and say, hey, we'll buy the building off of you. We'll give you 10 cents on the dollar and you can get out of Dodge. Is that what this is all about? I would never be that cynical, except Mike Bonin on tape said that during COVID. He said places like the JW Marriott and the Ritz-Carlton were going to go out of business, so we should try to let them go out of business and then buy them for a song. Isn't it great that he's not in office anymore because we chased him out of town? 800-222-KABC. Joseph in Torrance. Joseph, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hi. I'm a strong no on this. And if we combine that they didn't want to make trafficking of people illegal with this, maybe they just need rooms for escorts. So instead of putting homeless in there, they'll make it available for the escorts.
Well, at least then someone has a happy ending. Thanks for the call, Joseph. Appreciate it. He set me up for that one. You guys are the best. Let's go to Lyle. Lyle, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hello. I don't live in L.A., but I live in Simi Valley. My comment is no on this, but we question how these things get on the ballot. I've driven through L.A. in many areas, and if you go to a lot of the areas, the downrun areas and the homeless people camping, those people that can vote for that, those type of things, will vote to put them through no matter what. They do it on a knee jerk is what they do. Here in Simi Valley, the government has made us put up 4-story, almost 5-story, huge apartment buildings in a residential area. And the state controlled that. The people had no say-so.
That's where we're going. Thanks so much for the call, Lyle. I wonder if they got any signatures from the homeless to get this thing on the ballot. Because it is coming on the ballot. This is not theoretical. This is something you will vote on in the city of Los Angeles in March. Will you require the hotels that operate in Los Angeles to give their vacant rooms away to the homeless on a nightly basis? It's Randy Wang here, broadcasting live from the Morongo Casino Resort and Spa Living Room Studios. Johnny and I are back together on Tuesday. You're going to hear a handcrafted Best of the John Phillips Show on Monday that I put together myself, so you know it's good stuff, because I've been saving all the good stuff all year long. So enjoy that, because I got some wine to drink. Speaking of wine, the John Phillips Show is going on the road. Friday, September 15th from noon to 3, come watch us broadcast live at the Gelson's Century City Wine Bar and Food Market. That's right. That Gelson's has a beautiful wine bar. Come down there, have lunch with us, get a wine tasting flight. They're pouring Foxen. That's one of my favorite Pinot Noirs. But we're going to be there noon to 3, Friday, September 15th in Century City at the Gelson's in the Westfield Shopping Center. So please join us. We'll have a fantastic time. We'll take some pictures and we'll toast a glass of wine or 2 or 3. I'll get my brother to drive me. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. We have been taking nothing but your phone calls for the past hour on one simple subject. In March, we're going to be voting on a ballot measure in the city of L.A. that, if passed, would require hotels to give away their vacant rooms to the homeless. How are you voting? Let's go to Freddie. Freddie, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, Randy, how you doing?
Doing great.
Okay, look, check this out. Okay, I've been to a lot of motels and high-ends, right? And there are some nasty freaking, they got bed bugs, bed mites. So, I don't know if the housekeeper is lazy to clean it. I say no.
Yeah.
During they had the vouchers, the homeless vouchers, they're letting them stay in there. And my wife and I, every time we visit these hotels, we would bring our own bed sheets, we bring our own towels, we bring our own, blankets. Because it's just, I just can't trust it anymore.
No, everything becomes forever unclean. Freddie, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. That leaves the line open, 800-222-KABC. Johnny's back on Tuesday, and then Johnny and I are going on the road. We'll be live doing a show at the Gelson's in Century City. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Gelson's Wine Bar. So come on down, have lunch with us, maybe do a wine tasting, and we'll be there noon to 3, Friday, September 15th at the Gelson's at the Century City Westfield Mall. Mark your calendars. Come and see us. Back to the phones, 800-222-KABC. How are you going to be voting this March? Will you vote to require hotels to give away their vacant rooms to the homeless? Let's start with Jeff. Jeff, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hang on here. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going? I'm a big no.
Big no.
I'm also curious. Do they have a list of who is homeless and who is not? Who's to stop me from going into one of these hotels with my wife and just saying I'm homeless? And then I don't have to pay for the hotel.
Now, are you just going to say it, or are you going to get like a costume going so you really sell the bit?
Well, I mean, how do you prove that I'm not?
There you go, Jeff. I love it. I know it's super cliche and old-fashioned, but you got to get the little stick with the can of beans and the bandana on the end. You've really got to dress up the part if you're going to try to get that free room at the JW Marriott. Let's go to Damien in Sherman Oaks. Damien, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, how are you, Randy? Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
My wife turned me on to you yesterday, and, she's a big fan. So I wanted to call you, and I appreciate you bringing up this subject. But for me, and I told her, it's a hard yes. Like, we're at the point of no return in California, especially in L.A. County. This is a failed state. And these people will keep doing what they want to do until their policies fail. I think it takes longer for them to fix it, and we need to make sure that it fails, so that people can get on our side as well, too.
So you're saying we vote yes on this because since they put it on the ballot, let's give them what they want, and then they're going to have to deal with the consequences.
Well, let's put it this way. Newsom's against it because he knows that it's going to hurt revenue. Tech is moving out of California. This will affect tourism, which is a major get for California and their money machine. But, the average liberal, the average person in California that doesn't have conservative values, until they see the harshness and the reality of homeless people coming out, being belligerent, having mental health issues, until it affects people put it out of their minds. If they're having a nice, calm, convenient time living in LA, nothing's going to change. I'm sick of it, but I know that this is just one battle.
Totally understand you. Damien, thanks so much for the call, and thanks so much for getting turned on to the show. 800-222-KABC. See? That guy's wife told him you should listen to the John Phillips Show. And you, too, can tell all your friends and family to listen to the John Phillips Show because, it's a good time here from noon to 3. Let's go to Bruce in Tustin. Bruce, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, so I like Jeff's idea. Let's just take the family, stay at JW Marriott. I don't know how they're going to flag the rooms because that would be discrimination, I'm sure, if you indiscriminate against the homeless. But stay a night, catch a shuttle somewhere. But in all seriousness, I'm a hard no. And London Breed, what she's doing in San Francisco seems like what they want to do here, and that is drive them into BK, seize it, just like they're doing with that shopping center, seize it, and then turn it into a hockey stadium or whatever they want to do. But it's and nothing good's going to come of it. But it's going to be. Oh, by the way, and I'm sure they're going to require everyone to fill out a voter registration card to vote them in the next election. So hard no, though.
That'll probably be the thing. I think it's the soccer stadium you're thinking of at the San Francisco Mall when the Nordstrom moved out. Bruce, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. These people that listen to the show, you're so tuned into the issues. We love that. Let's go to Cynthia in Laverne. Cynthia, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hello, Randy. Great to hear you. Couple of things. Huge no. Somebody already brought up the bed bugs issue. I can't even imagine what this would turn into with that. So we got health and safety, and then two, somebody also brought up the Fourth Amendment issue, because this is absolutely going to devalue the businesses. Their insurance and their liability is going to go up. We already have insurance companies leaving the state. This is going to wipe these hotel chains out. And a local example is Holt Avenue over here in Pomona. There's 3 little motels here, and even on Sunday as I'm driving to church down there, you would not believe the number of prostitutes, the homeless people just up and down Holt Avenue. When it was hot, they were walking around with hardly any clothes on. It was very enlightening for our son. It is just criminal what we're doing, but this is not the answer, and you do a good job.
Well, thank you so much for the call, Cynthia. Appreciate it. I guess you could say, well, if they're all in the hotel rooms, then they wouldn't be on the streets, but who knows? 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Fern in South Pasadena. Fern, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Yes, hello. I say no. This is so stupid and short-sighted, but maybe it's actually planned in a certain way. If they're trying to destroy these private property owners and small business in the state, and then take over, because once they do this, it'll destroy the industry. And then who is responsible when the homeless are there, and let's say some little couples visiting from Kansas or whatever, and their little kid gets molested? Or also, they cannot just only ruin their own room. Let's say they have a little, the rest of the property or a pool or something happens. Where's the liability? They're going to destroy all these private business owners and also destroy the industry for tourism. It's so stupid. It's such a stupid response, and it does nothing, because they have proof that in San Francisco they came in, they stayed in these hotels, and then ruined them and ordered room service if it was like a nicer one.
Oh, and we had to pay the bill.
And they go back out on the street. They don't stay. They don't want to stay confined. You know.
You're absolutely right, Fern. And I got to say, when it comes to the pool, there's not enough chlorine in the world to clean up that mess. Let's go to Oscar in Valencia. Oscar, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
What's up, Abu?
Hey.
Randy, the idea, there's like certain ideas that are bad, and then there are certain ideas that are so radically bad that the person that came up with the idea should be fired. This idea is so profoundly stupid that whomever wrote it should be canned.
Well, what do you make of the fact, Oscar, that the people that wrote this and got the signatures to get it on the ballot were the heads of the Hotel Workers Union?
That's just terrible. I mean, it's a self-inflicted wound. The lady before said that it'll kill the tourist industry. Absolutely. Look at San Francisco, perfect example. Nobody goes there. There used to be the capital, aside from Vegas and Miami, it used to be the capital for conferences. No conferences go there because it's not safe. And they want to turn LA into a cesspool like San Francisco. It's just so profoundly stupid. and the problem stems from our education system. Because if you had, logic and cognitive skills, you would realize that this is it's insane.
Well, you got to look at the bright side, though, Oscar, because if we, destroy the tourism industry, we would also destroy the convention industry, which means we could turn the LA Convention Center into a giant homeless shelter.
I don't get it. I mean, it would be funny, except we live here.
We do.
It's terrible, brother. Anyway, love you. Love the show. I noticed, by the way, during the beginning of the week, a lot of people were calling you John.
Yeah, I don't correct them. I mean, the name of the show is The John Phillips Show. If you call me John, you're half right.
All right, brother. Great job. Great show all week. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, Oscar. I appreciate it. I used to work for that guy. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Joe in Camarillo. Joe, you're on The John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey there, Randy.
Hey.
Hey, I don't have anything funny to say, but this is my opinion on the immigration situation, which some of that is the homeless situation. But if things are that bad in the countries where people are, hundreds of thousands of people are sneaking into this country, why aren't we as a country sticking our nose into those countries like we are with Ukraine and straighten them out? Say your people are leaving. Why don't you guys fix your problem so people don't leave their homes?
I thought that's what Kamala Harris was going to do when she got to the root of the problem. Joe, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Talk Radio 790 KABC. Let's see how many calls we can squeeze in the next 5 minutes. Patrick in Fullerton, you're on The John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, Randy, doing a great job. How you doing today?
Doing great.
Well, I just got to say that, it's personal responsibility and private property. Private property shouldn't be co-opted by the government, period. And these people are responsible for themselves in the final analysis. So I don't know. I just don't believe that the government should do any kind of communistic, socialistic type of thing, like take away private property and dispense with it the way they want. It just doesn't seem right.
It doesn't, but it might pass. Thanks for the call, Patrick. Let's go to Robert in Santa Ana. Robert, you're on The John Phillips Show. Hello.
That's a definite no for me. I mean, what's going to prevent me as a hotel motel owner from submitting reimbursement requests for rooms I never even rented out?
Hey, there's an idea for you. Say we already house the homeless here and then cash in on the checks. Let's go to Ismail in Moreno Valley. Ismail, you're on The John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, what's cracking? Listen, I'm a big no on that. I saw something similar to this program up in Sacramento. I stayed at the wonderful Great Western, and I tell you one thing, man. Those people, they just trashed it. The homeless people, they trash the place. There's trash, people hanging out outside, people are sleeping in their cars. It's a huge no. Just one last thing. Anything the government gets involved in turns to crap, and this is a perfect example of it.
Definitely. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to Aaron. Aaron, you're on The John Phillips Show. Hello.
Oh, hi, Randy. Okay, so I used to work for the federal government for 10 years, and it was a shock because I went from the private sector to the federal government. And there's a lot of great people in government, but the government is like this big beast that can't be tamed. And so this whole business doesn't surprise me. They don't care really, or they don't really understand or want to know what the needs are of the private sector, which is a disconnect because they need the private sector in order to fund themselves. The other thing is that they're very, very short-sighted when they make decisions. They don't play the chess game where they say, okay, if we do this, then this might happen or that might happen. Let's think this through. No. It's all about, okay, we have this problem. We want the problem to go away. What can we do right now to make the problem go away? And then they'll deal with the consequences later, and hopefully somebody else will be in the government by then so they don't have to, bear the responsibility. I worked at, the federal government did that, and I know it's the same with all levels of government.
Oh, you see it every single day. You're so right. Aaron, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Call us back. Let's go to Victor. Victor, you're on The John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hi, I've been enjoying your show all week.
Thank you.
I'm a hard yes on this one. The people of the city of LA have voted, and this is what they get. And they deserve everything bad that happens to them. They deserve, for $1,000 DWP bills. They deserve to have their kids all illiterate and trannied up. They deserve to have everything bad that happens to them. And then maybe someday they'll learn how to vote right.
There you go. Thanks for the call. Let's go to Rick in Glendale. Rick, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, I changed my mind to yes because I'm going to become a consultant for the government and get paid to advise everybody with nonsense. By the way, I wasn't going to call you John because of your name. We're talking about prostitutes, so I thought maybe you were going to be – no, I'm kidding.
No, that's perfect. Thanks for the call, Rick. Appreciate it. And, yes, become a consultant to the government. You'll make millions. Annette, you're on the John Phillips Show. Annette, hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
This is Annette. I wanted to call and say that housing these homeless people for one night is not going to fix the problem. What they need to do is they need to set a law that you're not allowed to live on the street. And then they need to have a mental institution, and they need to have rehabs. They need somewhere to put these people that'll make them better rather than just house them for a night. Because this is just ridiculous the way it is out here.
How do we get that on the ballot? That's fantastic. Annette, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. All right, one more. Jeff in Long Beach, take us out. Jeff, what do you got?
Hey there. No, but let's make the government buy an old defunct cruise ship that's going to the junkyard, turn that to a giant homeless colony, take it out to sea and blow it up.
Thank you so much for the call. We here at 790 KBC do not advocate blowing up the homeless. It's the John Phillips Show. One more hour to go. It's KBC.